Hey everyone, my name is Brian Wright, and I am one of the authors of the children's picture book series, God's Daring Dozen. And I just wanted to take a moment, for those of you that may not be familiar with the series, to not just tell you about the series, but show you some examples of why this series is very unique and is important at such a time as this. First, it's the only children's picture book series on the minor prophets. So really, you have nowhere else to turn but this series. But I want to show you a few examples. Let's just take one of the most well-known minor prophets, and that is the book of Jonah. And you might not know this, but there's a chapter 4 in Jonah. You wouldn't know that if you looked at any other children's picture books on it. But we even have chapter 4 in the book in order to introduce kids to the entire book, not just the portion of the big fish. We also try to connect each one of the minor prophets with other portions of Scripture. And so, for example, the book of Obadiah, it's red because it goes back to the story of Jacob and Esau and the red stew. And so we want to connect these stories with other portions of the Bible. Speaking of, if you're going to look at the book Haggai, you might want to see that this book gives us specific dates because of the historicity. These are real people and real events that are taking place. If you want to look and see some of the images and the archaeology that went behind it, if you want to see what a candle would have looked like during the time of Habakkuk or Haggai, if you want to see what a stylus would have looked like, or an Assyrian relief, or if you want to see what maybe the Babylonian gate would have looked like. And so we used pictures and images from archaeology in order to help kids just really get to know and understand these books as they're going through them. If you turn to different books like Nahum and you want to see where does this connect in the New Testament, we highlight that oftentimes by saying the Apostle Paul wrote in Romans, quoting Nahum. Why? What was it that Nahum was pointing us towards, and why did Paul quote from it? We also want to see other places like Joel quoted in the book of Acts, and so we want to make those connections for our young children. The same thing, if you take a book like Malachi, and you want to see this prophecy of John the Baptist, the one who is going to prepare the way. We also want to make sure that each one of them points to Jesus. And so how does each one of the minor prophets tell us more about who Jesus is and what he came to do? And so this series truly is unique in all that it provides. And so I think you will really enjoy picking up this series, not just for yourself, but also for your kids, that we might be able to understand these books a little bit better.